I honestly don't know what's going to hit harder. The fact that the Save America Act just reached 50 Senate votes for the very first time, or the declassified bombshell that President Trump is reportedly dropping in front of the entire nation on Thursday night that could shake Georgia's 2 Democrat senators to their foundations. Stick to the very end of this video because we're about to find out why this week may be the single most pivotal week ever for restoring election integrity to our nation. President Trump reportedly has the goods, and it even looks as if the Senate has the votes. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you make sense of the madness with breaking news and analysis you're not going to get anywhere else. So you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, big news, I just released my brand new book, Civcosm, a bold framework for patriots ready to thrive in this incredible civilizational moment all over the world, and yes, even beyond. Pre-orders are open right now, and this Friday on my live stream, I'll unpack exactly what it means for your family and for your future. Click the link below to pre-order right now, and I'll see you on our Friday live stream. So just days ago, the Save America Act cracked 50 votes in the United States Senate. For the very first time in this entire legislative fight, President Trump's #1 priority bill got 50 senators on record in favor. The legacy media barely covered it because if they did, they'd have to explain why Senate Democrats are unified against a bill that has the support of 80 to 88% of Americans. I mean, basic election integrity protocols like proof of citizenship and voter ID consistently poll as the single most popular political issue of them all, which of course means that the Democrats, as usual, are united in their opposition to it. They are always on the wrong side, the most unpopular side of any 80-20 issue. But Susan Collins of Maine finally came around and voted for the bill. But of course, the zombie filibuster, the non-talking filibuster, which has been the procedural ghost that's haunted the Senate since a rule change back in 1975, it's the only thing that's preventing the Save America Act from being put on President Trump's desk right now. And so this is where the now late Senator Lindsey Graham comes in. Graham was the Senate Budget Committee chairman. He personally shepherded both the One Big Beautiful Bill and the $70 billion ICE and CBP package through reconciliation. And as it turns out, Graham was actively working on a third reconciliation bill, Reconciliation 3.0, specifically designed to include the Save America Act. So what this means is that the Senate GOP will officially add the Save America Act to this Reconciliation 3.0 that Lindsey Graham was putting together, which means that the election integrity bill will pass with a simple 50-vote majority plus the vote from the Senate president, which is Vice President J.D. Vance. So we've got the votes with Susan Collins on board, and we've got the reconciliation bill, and Senate Leader John Thune has indicated that they're going to go forward with that. Now, they're going to have to pass what's called the Byrd Rule, right, which requires that all reconciliation provisions have a direct budgetary effect. And the fiscal argument for threading the Byrd Rule needle is actually rather strong. Senators like Louisiana's John Kennedy have been arguing that proof of citizenship requirements directly reduce federal benefits costs flowing to ineligible non-citizens. That's precisely the mandatory spending reform that qualifies under the Byrd Rule. So this should be able to get around any issues with the Senate parliamentarian, who Trump says Thune should just go ahead and fire at this point. But regardless, Trump himself appears to be stepping up here. We are now learning that Trump has himself declassified information that he is going to share with the entire nation on live television in a national broadcast this Thursday night. And what he's about to reveal to the entire country could quite literally change everything. But first, gang, one of the most frequent questions I get asked by our audience is this. Maybe you wanted to ask this. Dr. Steve, is now really the right time to buy gold? Right? It's a fair question. Gold has had a tremendous run. Silver has been moving higher and higher. So naturally people wonder, so did I miss it? Is it too late? But I actually think that's the wrong way of looking at it. The real question isn't whether gold has already gone up. Obviously it has. The real question is whether the reasons for owning it have changed. I mean, think about where we are today. Central banks continue buying gold at record levels all over the world. Global debt continues to explode. Geopolitical tensions aren't going away. These are the very trends that we've been talking about on this channel for years. And if those trends haven't changed, then why would the case for owning physical gold and silver? So that's why more and more people are taking a closer look, not because they're chasing price, but because they're responding to what's happening in the world. Some are purchasing physical gold and silver directly. Others are moving a portion of an IRA or 401k into a gold IRA as part of their long-term wealth protection strategy. That's one reason why I trust Augusta Precious Metals. What I appreciate is that they don't try to convince you to buy anything. They start by helping you understand your options. They'll explain how purchasing physical gold or silver works, show you how a gold IRA works if you're using retirement funds, answer your questions, and then let you decide whether it's right for your situation. So if you'd like to learn more, go to turleybuysgold.com or text Turley to 35052. That's 35052 and request Augusta's free guide. Because in my view, the question isn't whether gold has already moved, it's whether the reasons for owning it have changed. And from where I sit, they haven't. Click on that link below right now. This Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, President Trump will reportedly deliver a national primetime address presenting newly declassified intelligence that foreign nations did, in fact, interfere in the 2020 election, specifically including evidence related to vulnerabilities in voting machines. He reportedly will be flanked by CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Acting DNI Bill Pulte, DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin, and FBI Director Kash Patel. So if these reports are accurate, I mean, just think of that lineup in front of the entire nation. The CIA, DNI, DHS, FBI, the full national security apparatus of the United States government standing behind declassified intelligence in a primetime national address to the American people. I mean, this is absolutely unprecedented. It's not a true social post, right? This isn't just a press conference. This is formal, official, intelligence-backed testimony to the nation. And according to reports circulating as of yesterday, Trump is specifically preparing to challenge the legitimacy of Georgia's two Democrat senators, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, the Warlock as I like to call him, citing the pervasiveness of fraud surrounding their 2020 elections. Now, this connects directly to the FBI's January criminal search of the Fulton County election hub, in which agents seized ballots, you remember that, voter rolls, and data connected to the 2020 election. A White House task force has been reviewing thousands of pages of classified documents, and they're expected to begin releasing them in the weeks ahead. Now, remember, Ossoff is running for re-election in November. If Trump stands at that podium Thursday night in front of the entire nation with the CIA director and the FBI director and presents declassified evidence of foreign interference in Georgia in 2020, the state where both Ossoff and Warnock were first elected, Ossoff's re-election campaign doesn't just have a bad week. It has an existential crisis. And this, gang, is how this Thursday is aiming to help bring the SAVE Act across the finish line. The Democrat filibuster strategy on the SAVE Act rests on one argument. Election fraud doesn't happen. We have the most pristine elections in the history of humanity. This is a solution in search of a problem. Move on, right? Every rhino who's betrayed us in this has used that same soft pedaling as political cover. But if Thursday night's speech delivers what the reporting suggests, if President Trump presents declassified intelligence of foreign interference in American elections, with Georgia specifically in the crosshairs, that argument evaporates overnight. At least it does in the hearts and minds of the vast majority of the country. The SAVE Act is no longer a theoretical safeguard. It becomes the obvious, urgent national security response to a documented attack on American democracy. For any senator standing in the way of Reconciliation 3.0's election integrity provisions, the political calculus transforms completely. You're no longer voting against voter ID. You're now voting against the documented recommendation of the CIA, the FBI, and the President of the United States, just literally weeks before a midterm election. If 80% of the country already supports the implementation of election integrity measures, after Thursday night, it's going to be more like 90%. That's why this may indeed be the single most pivotal week for election integrity ever. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. Are you calling your senators? Are you pushing for them to get the SAVE Act finally over the finish line? Let us know in the comments section below. And as always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button for breaking news and analysis you're not going to get anywhere else. Love you guys. God bless. Before you go, don't let the mainstream control your weekend mood. Every Friday, I put together a weekly wrap-up with real wins, real momentum, and proof that Patriots are actually winning in 2026. No spin, no doom script, just the truth about what God's doing through faith, family, and freedom. Click the link below to get this week's wrap-up free and start your weekend encouraged, not demoralized.